Another year down.
You're listening to the Hot Seed Podcast.
The Hot Seed.
Welcome all. I'm Sean, along with my co-host Earl.
Yo.
Dave.
Yes, sir.
And you know what it is. We're just dads with mics, gamers with headsets, and a whole lot of unfiltered conversation. As always, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Hot Seed Podcast. And be sure to listen, like, rate, review, share, and most importantly, enjoy on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, wherever you get your favorite shows. And be sure to subscribe on that YouTube channel, man, at the Hot Seed Podcast. I'm not sure why my voice got all raspy all of a sudden, but, you know, that's what we're doing, man.
End of the year.
Right, man. End of the year, as you just said, man. Episode 134, the best of 2023 or the worst of 2023 or whatever you want to call it. Either way, we're closing this thing out. I know a lot of podcasts, they might have took their dive before the Christmas holiday, but, you know, we decided to do ours right at the end, you know, to have that little, then we'll be back into the swing of things after the new year. Gentlemen, welcome back, man. Welcome back to another year closing out with you guys. We've done this, it's our third year doing this now. It's becoming quite the thing now, you know. As Dave would say, Mama, we made it. Or
That's right. That's right.
First and foremost, man, and to everybody who is watching and or listening, happy holidays. I'll just put them all together because I know everybody celebrates a little bit of everything. Gentlemen, how was your holidays, man?
I'll let Earl go first.
I mean, it was fine until I got sick. So I'm out here dying.
Not the death though. What'd you do to put yourself? Did you just catch something?
Nah, I mean, I ain't going nowhere. I just stayed here, but had people come over, so somebody got
somebody just came in and left that crud on you. That's
pretty much.
Yeah.
Much.
One that like right after we kind of opened back up after COVID. Not saying it's COVID, but you know, that point everybody was like, all right, now I ain't gonna have no more than 10, 15
Can I say this though? Because I said this to Earl actually earlier.
Right.
You know, we said this over a year ago.
Yeah.
That COVID would be embedded in our everyday life so much that it's just gonna be a cold.
Yeah.
So I was telling Earl, I was like, you may have it and not even know it because it's not showing up on a test anymore because the strand is so different now. But it's not no regular cold no more. Everybody's getting sick, especially if you leave out or have people around you. Everybody that comes back from vacation, sick, one way or another. Bruh. And this ain't no 3 or 4 day joint. This is some stuff. It's different, man. And you take the test and it's not that, but I'm telling you, it's so embedded now. It's the regular everyday cold.
Yeah.
At least I think it is.
No, it's either that, RSV, what they would say, the flu, common cold, STD, OPP. Somebody got something. That's just wild.
Yeah, you know me.
Dude, and think about this, the common cold. What the hell that mean?
Yeah.
What the hell that mean? The common cold. Yeah, you got the regular jump.
I just want to say this. Real quick as I'm noticing it right now.
Hit your mic.
Hit my mic?
No.
I want to say this real quick. Apparently, Dave was struggling with whatever infection he had for probably the last 4 or 5 episodes. Because all of a sudden, his vocals and his lip sync is on time now.
Nah.
Yeah, it is. Look at this. Look at this here.
See, now that you pointed it out, watch what happens. You know,
I just
you're
looked
not
up.
supposed to point that out. Oh, this kicker hasn't missed a kick from this.
Oh, that's how it happens every single time. Every
Like,
single time.
Just jinx the shit out of it. Thank you, bro.
Right.
Every single time.
Never happened.
You know what I'm saying?
Just took to the end of the year.
Yep. Hey, look, I ain't gonna lie. That's how my life went. Got in there and be like, look, I ain't gonna even say it. I'll say I love my daughter Kimora, but you know, I'll just leave it at that. There's no way possible. Shit. Watch me work. No, I'm kidding.
Look, I'm gonna let you go next on your Christmas thing. I'll save mine for last. You know why?
To be honest, man, I don't
I know.
Nah, I don't really want to, bro. Like I said, it's I'll put it this way.
I thought you would at least say about the fact of getting down and seeing your daughter again.
So that part that was great. So like, for everybody who's been watching, listening to the podcast, my oldest daughter, she enlisted into the military, and she's active duty and she's permanent party now. So she graduated in her AIT course and everything. There we go. And so she's active duty now, and I didn't know, man. I know she surprised me last during the Thanksgiving time. She got home. I didn't know she was coming, but I didn't think she would be back for Christmas. And then, like in true Umaris fashion, she said, I'm coming home for Christmas. So she was down at VA where we was going down, fellowship with my brother and everything else. So I had all three of my babies with me all at the same time, hanging out from the tiniest one to the biggest one. And then I was around all my family, my brothers, both of my brothers, aunts, uncles, my grandmother, who's still, 85, is still going strong, man. She's still going. She the OG matriarch of the family. It was dope. And I got to see, I will say this though. So the Monday night, Christmas night, of course, the NFL decided to be petty and take over the NBA's landscape when it comes to sports.
Sure enough did.
So throughout the day, they had some dope games. They had some good games throughout the day, but the nightcap was led up to be the game of the year. Well, it was hyped to be the game of the year. And I guess it still was a really good game. The Baltimore Ravens versus San Francisco 49ers. My brother is an avid Baltimore Ravens fan. Like, when he lived up in Maryland, we traveled around, they often would think he was one of the offensive linemen or defensive linemen for the Ravens. Just to give you a mindset. Man, when I tell you, he was turned all the way up, bruh. If you ever been around me or Dave, for that matter, and Earl, when we going, we in sync with our teams, and we get the juices going. Nah, he outdid us this time. He was all the way through, and then the ending result, we'll talk about that off mic. But man, it was fun. It was exciting. Shout out to my sister-in-law Tanisha. She decorated their house, and what the food layout was, I forgot to get pictures. She's an event coordinator. That shit was glamorous. So it was dope. Everything was good. Everything was seasoned. The macaroni and cheese was smack. My aunt made the macaroni and cheese. Everything was seasoned. My aunt made the mac and cheese. Everything was good, man. It was cool. I did have a little mishap though. I was helping put paprika on the deviled eggs. Somehow somebody had a fan on the counter.
Oh no.
So I went to go sprinkle the paprika.
Who the
heck? Only on two eggs. 2 eggs looked like I had dumped the whole bottle of paprika.
Oh,
I was like,
I thought you were gonna say that joint blew off into like the more space.
No, Natasha went to go use the salt, and the bottom fell out of the salt.
What is going on?
I don't know. She was like, "Oh my god!" All the bottom fell out. The bottom of the salt. The bottom of the salt shaker fell out. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, man. But shout out to the Best Western Plus though for that immaculate hotel we stayed in. That was pretty dope. But yeah, it was good, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me just rip the Band-Aid off.
Take your time, bro.
You got it.
So those of you that have been following the podcast, about exactly 4 months ago, I gave y'all a breakdown of an incident that happened at the house with my aquarium, 40-gallon tank busting open about 1:00 in the morning, rushing down, and there you go.
Yeah.
Well, we're going into Christmas weekend, and it's Friday around 5:00 p.m., and I'm downstairs gaming with Earl, and all I hear is David, and I'm like, oh shoot, what's going on now? So I go running upstairs, and I'm thinking she's on the first floor. She's all the way upstairs.
Oh wow!
And I just hear her yelling, And I go running upstairs to see a sprinkler in my son's room opened up and spraying everywhere. Now, if you have never been around a commercial business or a residential property with a sprinkler system going off, let me just tell you, it works. And when I say it works, the force that water was coming out, I stepped in the room for about 3 seconds, 3 to 4 seconds. I couldn't breathe. That's how hard the water was spraying. So then I go running out, because when you're in that sense of panic and everything, you're not thinking straight. Like right at that time, I'm like, what the hell? I'm thinking I'm dreaming, to be honest with you, at that point. And then I got to go shut off this water all the way upstairs, shutting off the waters all the way downstairs. So I'm running down all the way down into the basement, into the storage room, shut off the main valve and the sprinkler valve. To come upstairs, and bruh, the room was done. Just think about water going off for a couple of minutes everywhere in a room. So I'm in there, and the sprinkler is still trickling down, and I'm just looking through his room, mind you, a couple of days before Christmas. And I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. And I could just see him just standing there like, that type of look on his face. And I'm just like, what is going on here? And we turn to him, what happened? He's like, I was just changing. Next thing I know, the sprinkler was going off. But as parents, we see right through the bullshit. But I say, I can't get mad, or else he's never going to tell me the truth.
Right.
So I said, let me just start moving this stuff. I'm looking at Dre. We're just giving each other a look like, here we go. So we're going back and forth. And I'm just asking him each and every time when I'm pulling stuff out of his room, I go, it just sounds strange that sprinkler just went off. Nothing happened, Cam? Like, trust me, I need to know, because they're going to investigate this insurance-wise. I really need to know what happens and that I'm not lying to them. That's how I got it out of him.
Right.
And then he goes, Dad, I'm having a good semester. We had a big party. I was being celebrated, blah, blah, blah. And I was so happy when I got home, I threw one of the plushie toys up in the air and hit the sprinkler. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit, because I can stay on this forever, and I don't want to be back in that mindset. Please understand, as parents, that your kids are going to make mistakes. We were all kids at once, and no kid was perfect. None. We all did some crazy, crazy stuff. So my anger and more of my disappointment didn't come from the happening. Of course, it was horrible timing right before Christmas. I got my mom down here, everything else like that. But it came from the point that I had to pick at him for probably at least 30 minutes before I got the truth out of him. And I told him that was the main disappointing factor for me. Because, like I told y'all, I feel like we're good parents, and I feel like we serve as an open platform. And if you feel or see that your kids can't come to you with big things like this, what else aren't they coming to you with? And where are they getting the answers from? And how are those answers being received? Your friends don't have the answers. They'll give you an answer, but they don't have the answer.
Right.
Now, so the rest of that night, I'm going to let you know I was out of it. I didn't want to see him. I cleared myself of the situation. Let me just get work done. But this is another lesson to parents, and even lessons to myself. Don't get stuck in the moment. And Dre and I just sat back and looked at each other, and we were like, we're the ultimate team. We're going to get through it. We're going to figure it out. Yeah. Just another thing, another wrench that's out. Something that we got to get past, another wall we got to climb, but we'll make it. And that's why I truly love that woman, because no matter what's going on, no matter what mindset I'm in, I can look at her and go, you know what? We're good. We're going to figure it out. So fast forward through that, his mattress is gone, his TV's gone, his Xbox, all that type of stuff is gone. And I surprised him on Christmas on a quick run out of GameStop, found a system. Luckily, they had one in stock, because GameStop was crazy when I went in there.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
So they had one in stock, and I surprised them with that. Well, we surprised them with that on Christmas. One of the main things was also, you know, let my mom see that we're okay. You know, parents are gonna worry and stuff like that. So it's not to put a somber mood on anything. I'm going to speak to this through, something happened, but at the end of the day, we're okay, because to have things to get messed up in a house that we have, a lot of people don't have it.
Right.
You get what I mean?
Right.
And we always got to think in that mindset of, yes, a bed, a TV, an Xbox. These are all luxurious things to somebody else.
Yeah.
You get me? You know, they would honestly look at my situation and be like, okay, I wish I had your problems type thing. And that's where I got to put myself back in the mindset of, let's get back on this grind. Let's do what we need to do. You had your moment of anger and sadness and disappointment and everything, but what are we going to do from this point on? So there's been a lot of lesson teaching for these last couple of days. I was telling her before, we're going to go over the value of money. A whole lot of things are going to be learned, because if y'all know, Cam is going to be turning 13. He'll be a teenager in May. And I told him, I just say, you're going to have to know the value of money, opening up a bank account, certain things that you're asking for, you're going to have to pay for or put money towards. A game is $60. There's 3 people in the household. I might split it 3 ways and go, hey, you want that latest game? I need $20. You know, things like that. So they know the value, because they don't know. Kids don't. Most of the time, we discussed this earlier, kids don't know the value of money until they normally get their first car, the one they brought, not the one you hand down to them, the one they brought and they're paying for. Then you're mad at a bird shitting on your car, because you see the value of the money that you put out. Everything else up to that point, bro, they have no idea. They think money just flows from the sky. Oh yeah, situation happened, but my mom and dad got it. Oh, my mom and dad got it. No, it don't work like that. So fast forward. Thank you to FanDuel over Christmas break. I won over $300 on Christmas Day. Did I not, Earl? On Christmas Day. Thank you to the Giants game. Thank you to the 49ers
for the
game.
ticket that he didn't share. We talk about this shit every week.
We're not going there. We're not going there. We're not.
Before we get there, before we get there, man, I'm glad everything worked out. And if you guys have learned nothing else from Dave's experience, and you know, especially with water, don't go chasing waterfalls, man. That's all I'm telling you. Just don't.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie though, Dave. If I was Cam, I'd have lied. I'd have kept the lie going, y'all.
I want to punch him through this goddamn right now, because he had the shit. He had it queued up, bro.
I
know. This shit went from his room on the second floor down to the living room on the first floor, down to my theater in the basement, bro. So between both incidents, think about this though. Between both incidents, do you realize we rebuilt more than half of this house in 5 months?
Hey, you know, water, man.
Water is the devil, bro.
Water is the ultimate asshole.
Fuck this guy.
That's why I'm drinking beer right now. Water is the ultimate asshole, because it will find, it is the most, and it's proven, it is the most destructive force on the planet, beyond fire, beyond everything else. Water is the most, because just when you think that you got it, nah, bro.
Nah.
It finds a crevice somewhere, and man, oh man, it's
and the damage it leaves behind.
It does, man.
You got it up.
Yeah, a small little leak that you think you fix, it just ran somewhere else, and you know it's still leaking. Now you can pull down that wall or that ceiling or wherever the case may be, and find nothing but mold that can probably kill you. It's so wild. Or you've seen stuff like beach erosion. Now we got all serious, but it really is one of those things that it is the most destructive thing and the most life-preserving thing on the planet. So it can either give life or it can take away life.
Dang, you really went in. Okay, all right.
It's the end of the year, bro. Yeah, it's the Hot Seat Podcast with your boy Sean, Earl, Dave. Yeah, we didn't get philanthropic.
That man needed a collection plate, Earl. Hey, pay my time.
Episode 134, man. Best in the world. Best in the world. Yes, we are the best in the world podcast out there. Yeah, we say that tongue in cheek, but it is what it is, man. So it being 2023, man, we're going to wrap up 2023. And you don't realize how much stuff has happened in a year until you try to get to the end of the year and be like, oh, wait, that was back in January. It doesn't seem that far ago,
Right.
but it really is. And it also, if nothing else, it makes you realize how fragile life is and how quick time literally goes.
Mm-hmm.
And as you guys will see, as we go through some of our, our things tonight, it's just, man, it seemed like it just happened, but no, it was literally a year ago, which doesn't seem that long until you try to remember what happened. So we can start anywhere with this. Let's just start how this podcast began. So let's talk about some games, man. The best games of 2023.
Bro, you said games. I'm like, what?
Wow.
We trying to make it to 2024, brother. We trying to make it to 20.
You told you I'm high on
blame it on the man
right now.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
What?
So the best games of 2023, man. There's so many. I know we played quite a bit this season, or this year, rather, this gaming season. I feel like it does came in and seem. So I want to see what do you guys got as yours? I mean,
I got nothing in no particular order, but I will say one of the best games that I played this year. We discussed it also with Webster Style when he was on. Was Hi-Fi Rush.
Yes.
It
Hi-Fi
was
Rush,
one of the most original games I've seen in a long time. And it's just real fun to play through the game. Yeah, so I got to put that up on one of my top lists.
It was, man. I remember when it came out. It brung you back because it's a 2D aspect to it. Then there's like a third person view, and it had the most energy and button smashing that I remember going back to the old Capcom days. It made playing the game really fun. I mean, I know we get bogged down in our sports games. We play our Call of Duties and stuff like that. But after a while, those games get mundane sometimes. You want something that's refreshing, is bright, and it was just dope, man. And it was done in a way where it didn't get boring. The storyline was pretty dope, and just the artwork about it. And now it was something that was created by Microsoft that they're going to. You guys know they got the rights to all of this different music in it. So there's some other things that's going to come from that. I think Webster Style talked about that as well. So yes, absolutely, Hi-Fi Rush. Earl, you got one? What you got? No? What was your best game of 2023, bro? I know what you love, man. Go ahead.
I only played like 2-3 games.
What was your most favorite game?
Yeah. I mean, this game didn't come out, but this is the game that I loved the most was Call of Duty. Which one was it? Modern Warfare 2?
You're talking about Modern Warfare 2, but that wasn't 2023.
Yeah,
well, what came out this year, though? What came out? What was the newest that came from Call of Duty?
3.
Got
Modern
it.
Warfare 3.
That's not up there. Okay, then maybe NBA 24.
Okay.
2K.
That was good. Yeah, 2K. Yeah,
they did up the ante on the look. I haven't played a lick of it at all.
How you gonna say they up the ante and you ain't play shit?
No. What I'm talking about, I'm talking about from the look of it and the graphics and stuff.
Because you was making me mad in the last comment talking about we play our Call of Duty. You don't play shit. We play our NBA. You don't play shit. You play what's that stupid Sims type game?
Oh no!
Hey,
don't go there. Don't go there.
Hey,
that man feels a certain way.
I'm about to light your ass up.
Then again, I wanted to punch him through the screen before, so go ahead and say that.
City Skyline.
City Skyline.
City Skyline. What's that same shit?
I played a lot of games. Now, I may not play the same games that my brothers play.
Oh my
but God. I play a lot of games, and that is evident by when I did my own. Did y'all do y'all Xbox recap this year on gaming? And it shows you the amount of hours. Yeah, the amount of hours. My son looked at me. He was like, "You played that much game?" I was like, "Bro, I didn't even realize it gives you the amount of hours you were gaming, which is quite a lot this year." My game this year, outside of Hi-Fi Rush, is a game I've been playing since I used to go to Little Jimmy's down in Newport News, Virginia, and this is before it even had any numerals that went with it and different iterations. Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 dropped this year, and I was in heaven. So much so the whole house, that's the one game in my household, even down to the missus, everybody picking up the sticks and anybody can catch these hands. Everybody. Fireballs, uppercuts, everybody catching these hands. Hey, and all you yelling is next if you winning. So Natasha was playing, Javen was playing, when you might just here. That's like our bonding game because that's the one game outside if you go to OG like Pac-Man and Mario and stuff like that, Street Fighter has been such a mainstay in the gaming community since I want to say 80 something. I think that's when they came out.
That Mortal
89.
Kombat.
Yes, man. And playing that game and how the look of it, the functionality, the new characters, it was fluid. I played that so much. I played online, and I still realized I still got it and was talking shit to people. I was it was great. And you can create your own, you create your own avatar who is going through a storyline and playing. And it wasn't like one of those really cheap ones. Kind of like it's not so much NBA, but I think the early iterations was like, say you go in, you created your avatar. And typically, sometimes you create your own avatar. You're like, man, I can't do the same thing that you would do in the main game. This one was the same thing. It went with the game. So it was Street Fighter 6 was one of my best games outside of Hi-Fi Rush of 2023, and it's still going. Like they're still adding characters. I'm loving it. I'm downloading all and buying all type of shit now at this point. I don't know. What else you got for this year?
This is a game that's on the Switch. Actually recently came out. My son loves it. Mm-hmm. It's an interesting looking game. Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Okay. Yep.
It's a neat game. Some of these Mario games that come out all the way from what was it when you first got the system for Switch? Odyssey. Yeah. Like they be doing. I just think in my mind when I look and Mario? I go, yeah. Well, I think back to just regular Mario and how intrigued we were just breaking the ceiling top and running across the top. We were like, oh, we doing something big. Dude, with Mario now, that's on a whole nother level. And
yes,
I love it because of what I just mentioned. Like, there's not too many things that we go back into our childhood and that we were raised up on, and then we're seeing it portrayed so well and pushed out there so good and catching eyes of these kids today, and now we can both relate and talk about it. So it's a talking piece between myself and Cam. So yeah, Super Mario Brothers Wonder for the Switch.
Love it. Another game that happened this year that had a resurgence this year, and I had waited on this game, and I think you know what I'm talking about, for about 10 years, roughly, when they were building this game, and it came out in 2020, and it was so bad, man, because it's just, I don't know what they did. They try to put too much, but it just didn't live up to the hype. But it made a comeback over the last 2 years, and now they've added different iterations of Cyberpunk. The Cyberpunk 2077, when it first came out in 2020, was such a letdown because they had so many bugs and stuff like that. They went back into the lab. They fixed it, man. It had the biggest turnaround that I've ever seen a game ever have. So much so there's an anime that came, and the anime really boosted it. And then they came in and brought like the second offshoot of it. Yo, it was so good, man. It really was such a good game. And I know we live in a world now where everybody wants instant gratification, and everybody has an opinion now, and social media is just a place where it's not really real because everybody says what the hell they want. But Cyberpunk 2077, what they done this year, and adding the Cyberpunk 2027, I think it's called Liberty something. And I've only played a few moments of that because I didn't get a chance to do it, but I will be diving more to that because I have it downloaded in. So good, man. It really was so good. And I know we're talking about best games of 2023. The flip side of that is probably the worst reviewed game of the year, which I think we both talked about it, but it was so bad I decided not to do it. Was the Redfall game. Right. It was something we were like,
I'm not even doing it.
Yeah, man. I'm not even.
And the reason why, and we can go that way actually on each and every category, not just the best, but some of the biggest disappointments. Redfall was it, because you could see where they could have went, the potential of it.
Yes.
And it never met the mark.
I was
so amped. I was so amped for that game.
We talked about it, and it just didn't happen. A game that now is getting. It depends on like to Earl's point. Like, everybody plays this game. I still think that Starfield is still one of the best games of the year, but it depends on how you approach it. That game is not for everybody. that game is one of the ones, if you're not into a story type person, stuff like that, it's one of those games that it takes time to play. It's not to give you instant gratification. It's a beautiful game. I love everything about it. But again, of course, we live in a space to where everybody, you know, they get bored and want to move on to the next thing. And then that horrible word that I hate called mid, M-I-D, everything is mid now. I hate whoever created that term. Yeah, okay. Yeah, right.
I'll give you a game that I haven't even played, but it's on my list.
What?
Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
The one game.
Yes, that eludes us.
That will make me want to buy a whole nother system, not for any other game, just for that game alone. And I'll probably be satisfied just from having that game.
Yes,
I still haven't put it out of my whole thought.
Yes.
So.
For one game. It reminds me of Neo Geo back in the day when I wanted Neo Geo specifically for King of Fighters back in the day, but I know my dad couldn't afford that shit. That shit was like $1,000 or something ridiculous for the system, and this was back in the 90s. When gas was 89 cents, $1,000 for a game system, brother. Nah, you better go start selling.
But think about it. Every single wintertime, what do they always put out into the stores? Atari. And stuff like that, and people are dying to get it and play the classic games and stuff like that. That was my first system, was Atari.
Yep. I had Atari 2600. We got it from the flea market. Actually, we had the system there, but we used to buy our game stuff from the flea market at the time, and had every game. We had the paddle ship, all that stuff. And then I just started collecting systems. ColecoVision, TurboGrafx 16.
ColecoVision.
You know, I had a job back in the day, so now we had Sega. My dad bought the Sega. I added all the peripherals: Sega CD, 32X, Sega Saturn. We had all this stuff. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64. Ridiculous.
My game for Atari was Wizard of War. I could play that joint from the beginning of the day to the end. That was my Call of Duty. Like, I could play that joint all day, to the point of my mom yelling upstairs, like, get your ass downstairs and do something. But Wizard of War, shout out to Atari.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it, man. It's gaming. It's the best of 2023. Best in the world. It's the Hot Seed Podcast, man. Let's get into our next category that we want to discuss, and that's going to be a little bit of since we were talking about Spider-Man, best movies of 2023.
Well, I
Spider-Man
guess I'm gonna start right there. Keep it in the Spider-Man lane. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I mean, while it was heavily anticipated for me, I was scared.
Okay.
And I was scared because I was like, please don't fuck up a good thing.
Right.
Because the first Spider-Man was awesome. It was awesome. And I didn't think they could take it up another notch. And boy, I was wrong. I'm going to put it that way. Boy, I was wrong. If you haven't seen the movie, shame on you. Because that is an awesome animated flick.
I was late to the party. I didn't see it until late. I really didn't see it until late. I never got to see it in the movie theaters because my schedule just wouldn't allow me to do it. But I watched it and was completely blown away by the film. Like it was so good, man. It really was. And this is the one thing that Sony is doing right. Like this is the one thing that they are doing right. Like them specifically. This is not a Sony Marvel collaboration. This is all them. And it was just really dope, man. An underrated film. And I just watched it the other night, and it took me back to when I actually owned a PlayStation. And just for the gaming aspect, I like what they did. I don't know if you guys watched it. The Gran Turismo film.
I haven't watched it yet. I got it on the list.
For the category they did, so it's a gaming film. But doing the backstory on it, the Gran Turismo film was pretty good. And it's actually based on a true story. Or I'll say it's what they call that. They kind of I want to say they kind of not they enhance it. You know, they kind of glamorize it a little bit. But back in 2012.
They
So
dramatized it.
the Gran Turismo game was crazy. Before there was Horizon or Forza or anything like that, there was Gran Turismo on PlayStation. And what they did was they actually held an open competition for the best Gran Turismo sim, because Gran Turismo is a simulation driving game, you know, on Sony for the longest time. And they held an open competition for the best Gran Turismo players in the world. And if you won, you got the opportunity to actually go and train to become an actual driver. And watch the film, and this young man out of the UK, man, London, won it. And we watched the film, and you know, it from the cars, from the different things they added to incorporate from the game, which was dope. I like that little part. It wasn't the whole thing, but there's these little aspects of it. It was pretty dope, man, and it was emotional too. Not to give it away, it was something where, and I even checked up on the young man. He was a young guy, the young man who got involved in these races. He raced in the Le Mans race, and I'm a big GT. I'm a big Indy fan. But the Le Mans race is not Indy, but I'm a big racing fan in the aspect. The Le Mans race is an endurance race, and he did that a few times. He was with Nissan. You know, it was just a really dope film. And if you're a speed demon, or if you just like the whole car aspect of it, yo, it's an adrenaline rush to say the least. So I thought you got to check it out. It's on Netflix. It's pretty good,
I got
man.
it on there.
It was pretty good, man. Earl, your best movies of 2023. Don't tell me it was Shawshank Redemption. Or nothing like that. You know, I'm
trying to
with
think because I ain't go to the movie theaters like that. I really don't.
Right, that was one of those type of years.
So it had to be something on Netflix.
Yeah,
but hopefully it came out this year.
Yeah,
I hope so. You know what? So I would say maybe You People, if that came out.
Okay. I think did it come out this year? I know what you're talking about.
With Eddie Murphy and Jonah.
I
Jonah
believe
Hill?
that did.
Yeah, Jonah Hill.
Okay.
I'm gonna say You People.
Okay.
My only downside about that is, like, you can tell they're what's her name, Lauren London and Jonah Hill's romantic chemistry.
It wasn't.
Was very awkward.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell, like, she wasn't. It was just weird. I'll leave it at that.
I got you.
Okay, but I'll say
you know what it reminded me of? It felt like it took some of the inspiration from Guess Who, or Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. That's what I felt like they were trying to do. Maybe.
Yeah, but again, it was just the chemistry. Like, I think they were dope together.
Yeah.
But when they got to the romantic scenes, it was like,
I don't like it.
One that I definitely got to put out there, just another notch to put on this man's belt of don't fuck with him when you talk about goats, was the movie Air. When you can come out with a movie that is not even about you, it's about your sneakers.
Yeah.
You're on another level, bro. Literally, you're on a whole nother level. And the movie, if you haven't seen it, was awesome. I sat back when it first came out trailer-wise, and I was like, they're really doing a movie? I thought it was like a fan-made type thing at first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're really doing a movie about the Air Jordans, and then when I saw all the people that were in it, I'm like, they're really doing a movie.
He saved the company, man. He practically saved the company for the most part. I hadn't been that excited about watching a movie since watching, if you guys remember, this is right as he retired. I think we all probably had this VHS because it wasn't on DVD. You might, maybe now, now it's on Blu-ray if you can find it. It was the Michael Jordan to the Max. Y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was the last time. I mean, outside of course,
Definitely.
where we watched the ESPN documentary
Last Dance.
But that was a documentary. But from a movie, I remember seeing Michael Jordan to the Max at the IMAX theater in Hampton, in downtown Hampton. If you know what I'm talking about, Dave. When that was like one of the very few IMAX theaters that was out. There was nowhere else. And watching that, and then I had it on VHS, and I was so excited when I saw this Air film. I was like, bruh. And then because I always wanted to hear this, you always know the story about how he got fined for wearing those shoes and how different things like that.
Yep.
how his feet was bleeding in the shoe because they were so uncomfortable, and it was wild, man. It was wild. He literally took Nike from being a track shoe to the biggest company. I think they might be the second biggest company. I don't know how it is now because I know Adidas was right there with them, and I think they overtook them for a second, but they might be the other way around. I don't know.
I just thought of a couple more.
Yeah, what you got?
So I don't know if anybody said it. I would say The Color Purple. Did anybody say The Color Purple?
It's about the one that just came out?
Yeah, 2023.
All right.
So I didn't see it, but I heard a lot of good reviews. So
oh man, we talking about the best stuff we saw. Oh god.
Oh,
I mean, I seen the previews.
So
everybody knows.
But I go and we're talking about movies that I heard about. They said it was pretty good. I told you I'm high on medication. Now another one that I thought was alright. It was two of them. Who Cloned Tyrone? That one was alright. That one was dope.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
And then it was another one. Hold on. It was Who Cloned Tyrone? And then, damn, what was the other one?
Well, think about it for a sec so I can go on with what you were talking about. So I did see The Color Purple yesterday.
Okay.
And so you say this is based off of the Broadway. So it's not
correct.
Based off the
two totally different versions.
Right.
So when people come in and they didn't see the play, which I saw everything. I saw the original movie, I saw the play, and I've seen the musical, basically the movie that just came out.
Right.
It was a great movie. I basically sat back and said I definitely wanted to take my mom to this movie over Christmas break here.
Right.
And we surprised her. We didn't tell her where we were going. If you wake my mom up early to go somewhere, you better have something good going on. Let's just let it be known. So woke her up, told her to get dressed, everything. We jumped in the car, went over to AMC Theater, walked in, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, are we going?" Yep. So we go up in there, and I mean, right from the start. Because the thing I was scared about with this movie was when they said musical, I was like, please don't have them singing every single word that's coming out of like their mouths. Let this please feel like a movie with singing involved in it, not singing that, oh, by the way, we just do it in the movies. I didn't want that.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was emotional. Great storytelling. It's very good storytelling when you already know the story and you're still surprised and intrigued. Think about that. How many times The Color Purple has been told over and over again, and you've seen the old version as far as the movie, and if you've been to the musical, you've seen all that. It compares to the storytelling to me that like Lion King. People could laugh at it and everything else like that, but I've seen Lion King, the original version. I've seen Lion King, the musical. I've seen Lion King, the production they put on down at Disney. And I can see it over and over and over again. And it's just a great story. Yeah. And I'm telling you, they knocked it out the park, man, with everybody that they had cast-wise in there. And I actually just looked. And right now, The Color Purple is the second highest grossing Christmas release ever. I'll repeat that. It is the second highest Christmas release movie ever for that first weekend coming out. So, yeah, get out there. Support us.
For the record, Aquaman had the worst release of any film ever.
I wasn't gonna bring that.
Had the worst release. One film, it wasn't a traditional film
that
but
came out.
But yeah, right. Something that has stuck with me because it was so impactful. Because I think we all enjoy a good comedy or a comedy stand-up. We love our Dave Chappelle's and your Chris Rocks and your Kevin Hart's and who you go to. But still, the best comedy. You want to call it a movie? I know they call them comedy album. It's just a comedy. I'm going to put it in a movie because it wasn't a show. However you want to do it. And I was talking about this brother all the time, and my goal is to have him on the pod. Is Ali Sadiq's Domino Effect 2 Loss. that is in the same category as some of Dave Chappelle's best shows.
And what is this?
That's Ali Sadiq.
And was it on?
Domino Effect. It's on YouTube, actually. It's actually on YouTube.
Okay.
Domino Effect 2. And Earl's giving me this face. That's how I know he don't know. And then he's gonna watch it and be like, you know what? This is the one time I am confident you can be like, you know what? My bad. The best.
You said Dave Chappelle. That's you putting a lot on that. But
now I need you to go watch this and see what I'm talking about.
I know Ali Sadiq.
No, that he's done it. That was his best stand-up. And the best stand-up I have watched since Dave Chappelle came back, and he gave us those. So he had the what's the name in Texas, the two he did at the same time. It was like on New Year's. That was the best one I've seen since then.
Let me ask you this: are you saying that's what you like, or do you feel like if people see it, they're gonna say the same thing?
I think they say the same thing. I believe they will say the same thing. You often hear the word masterclass thrown around certain things. This is a masterclass in comedy and being able to relate and to evoke emotion and just to transition from topic to topic. You ever watch comedy shows sometimes and it'd be so disjointed? You'd be like, you right here, and all of a sudden they jump to here. You'd be like, you can't follow it. Dave Chappelle is great at doing that. Kevin Hart when it's right, but Dave has been like he has been the standard. He able to go from one to one to one. This is the best comedy show I have watched since Dave first came back. I want to say 2 years ago now. Maybe that was when he came back. When he started that 5-show run
for Netflix. Yeah.
It is so dope, man. And the cosigns from them there, I don't need them to tell me, but that brother is, and he's not a new jack either. For all y'all know what New Jack is. He's been doing comedy for a minute. It's all self-produced, self-funded, and man, you watch it and come talk to me later.
All right, I'm gonna have to check it out. Another movie I got. I don't know if y'all saw it, but it's called Shooting Stars. It's the LeBron James. It was like a docu movie, somewhat.
I haven't. I seen something about it, but I have not watched it. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
It's actually very good.
Okay.
The cinematography was dope.
Okay.
I heard that they use like this new. I don't know the terminology, but this new technique for like sports scenes, which was kind of dope. And then when I was seeing like the making, the person that was holding the camera, they had almost like a skate ramp. So the guy was going up the skate ramp. Yeah.
That's
going
dope.
Up the skate ramp while he's filming. You know what I'm saying? And then coming down the skate ramp. So, and it translated, you'll see, if you see it, it translated to like some dope shots.
What's it streaming on?
This was on, I want to say Amazon.
On Prime? Okay.
Yeah. But it was actually very, very, very good. The person that played LeBron was dope. And it just, kind of showed you a little, his it highlighted some other stuff that you didn't know.
Okay.
I think, like what was the last one that he had? What was like the actual documentary?
I know which one you're talking about. Was it called The Chosen One? Was it called The Chosen One?
No,
I feel like it was something like that.
But it was the documentary was dope, but this movie form was actually pretty dope. And a lot of stuff been corny, but I ain't gonna hold you. That one was pretty good.
Before we get off movies, I got to give a shout out to Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3.
The way to close out a series, man. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. Something that we did watch in 2023 that did not come in 2023, but at this point we're the Hot Seat Podcast, so we say what we want. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and watch the R. Kelly Light It Up tour on YouTube. That's a crazy movie, son. It's the Hot Seat Podcast with your boy Sean.
Don't get on, bro.
Yo, that was the best concert ever.
Memories.
Oh, that was the best concert ever. Oh my God, man. It's the best of the world. We're talking the best of 2023. I know. It's fine. You know, it's coming. I'm glad we self-funded. Let's look. Hey, that's a great transition, man. Right into the best music of 2023. This is just like we say with everything else. This is difficult because you forget stuff when it came out, and you try to remember, is this come out last year or the year before? And we can do. I don't know if you guys want to say best. You don't have to rank them, but the best albums of 2023 or best music in general of 2023.
Anybody gonna put out Andre's
Number one is Andre 3 Stacks.
Andreas.
You ever seen Pootie Tang? You ever seen Pootie Tang? You remember?
Yes.
Remember he was like,
Sadate.
remember he was like, yo, we got this new song dropping, and people was listening, but it's no music, and it was like, yo, this junk dope.
Oh, God.
That's what the fuck that was, yo. I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Oh my God.
Oh my God, man.
So I'll give a real answer, but I'm glad you were in the same thought pattern as me, Earl.
Oh my God.
So, barring everything that's going on, you know where I'm going. I gotta give it to my man, Diddy, the Love album, Off the Grid. That album was fire.
It was.
From start to finish, fire. Because I haven't listened to too many albums lately that honestly I could just let it ride. You know what I mean?
I got you.
And there were so many singles on that album that, the days when you could release a single, nowadays it's just everything streamed. But, back in the day when you did singles and stuff like that, I could see multiple songs being released as singles. And you go, I need to go get the album. Yeah. So, yeah, the Diddy album, the Love album, Off the Grid. Don't come to me with the garbage about what's going on in the personal life. I'm talking about the album.
The music. Yeah.
We can have that. Yes, we can have that off the grid, as he says. Pun intended. So,
right, yeah.
That was mine.
I think Earl might agree with me on this. He might be thinking the same thing. Michael, he may not. Killer Mike.
That was on my list.
Yes. Hey, it's funny because I was just looking up to make sure that he came out.
Yeah, no, he did.
Yeah, that's probably number one.
That was
trying to see what other R&B or
the argument for the longest time, and especially in hip hop, is finding albums that you can start at track one and just play it all, just like you just said, Dave.
Yep.
From front to back. You can do it. You can do that a lot of times with R&B because it's a mood, but with hip hop, it can go from one extreme to the next. But from the production to the bars to the features to everything, and if you know Killer Mike, man, the message is going to be there. And he's an OG, man, and the energy, everything about it, album. It was, man. And this is the one time I'm not a Future fan. I am not. But that Scientists and Engineers joint, or I might say it the other way around.
No, don't do that. Don't do that because now you're gonna make me hate the album.
No. What I say,
why?
I know because Andre 3000 he put that verse on it. But even though his verse was probably the best verse on it, but Future's verse on there is hard, bro. Like it just fit. Like I don't like the other Future out there to be doing I can't fuck with it. But that right there, it fit what it fit him.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you get artists now. It's like DaBaby, right? I can't listen to a whole DaBaby album. I will lose my motherfucking mind. But you see when he features on certain artists' songs, you be like, bruh, like Lil Baby, you be like, bruh, like that's when they're forced to like spit. Same thing with 21 Savage. One of my favorite songs with 21 Savage happens to have J. Cole on it. There was a lot. I love how they just slid all over that. DaBaby, and it was with DaBaby, J. Cole, and I forget what's name. It was. I love that. It was.
What would Cam say?
Oh, sorry. So shout out to Cam and Mace. But yeah, Michael was the epitome of a rap album, bro. This year, the epitome of it.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to agree. I was really trying to look and see what albums came out this year.
There's not that many.
It is really not.
There's another one out there.
No, I have some other ones, but I want to see where Earl goes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I wasn't even looking on the rap side because don't nothing excite me in rap. Like, if Jay-Z ain't coming out, or
well, I'll stay on the rap side.
Okay.
Because I believe they were both 2023.
Right.
And there's a hint there, both.
Yep.
Nas Magic 2 and 3, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was good.
Wasn't those both 2023?
No. You talking about Magic 2, and then are you talking about King's Disease 3?
King's Disease.
Magic.
No,
Magic.
KD3 came out at the end of 2022. Magic 2 came out this year.
Right. Hold on.
And it was like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's one of those weird things where KD3, I believe, came out at the end of 2022.
Nah, Magic 3 came out in September 14th.
Yeah, there you go.
So he had Magic 2 and 3 this year?
Yeah.
Magic 2.
Magic 2 came out this year, then 3 definitely came out this year.
All right, I'm tripping. That's how I know we went back. All right, cool.
Yeah, Magic 2 came out July 21st, and Magic 3 came out September 14th.
All right, good. You got it.
2 and 3.
I love the thing. I love what he did, and that was, and unfortunately, I don't know the truth of it, but he said that's the end. I guess the end run with him and Hit Boy.
Both of them, yeah.
Right. I guess will they decide? I guess he's gonna do something else. But I think when I read it, he said that was the last thing that him and Hit Boy was gonna do. But that may be whatever. But he's been in that pocket, man. Another album that you guys, I don't know how you can forget about this because we talked about the video, The Age of Pleasure.
Janelle Monáe, boy.
Jeez, boy.
Come on, man.
Listen, Errol, how step out for this one, man?
Come
listen,
on, man.
that whole album, bro. The video,
the visual album.
Yes,
you talking about the visual?
The album was dope.
I ain't listen to the album.
Listen.
Album
Had a brother want to go see her in concert.
The album was crazy.
Yeah.
I had the Love album in there, but another album that dropped early this year. And he said he was going to step away for a minute, which he has. And it may not be what you guys listen to, maybe not. But And Then You Pray For Me, West Side Gun. That album was crazy. Like, first of all, and I know they got the payroll for it, but the amount of samples that is used is insane. But they're not even regular samples. They're obscure samples. Like, I don't know where they find this stuff, but it'd be like some of the craziest samples. And they create these pieces, man, that are so dope and sound they're made for vinyl. And that was one of the albums that I had for this year. And one that came out really late. And I was a fan of it because I got to hear somebody rap who's known for more of like the, I guess it's not the trap type. I don't know what you want to call his side, but two people that I really, 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 really revere, man. And his mama, I don't know his mama name though, but he used to be Titty Boy, and now he's 2 Chainz, and the one on the one of the goats of rap, Lil Wayne, Tunchi himself. The Welcome to College Grove album that they did was dope, man. It was dope. It was the best way I can describe that is it felt like the South's Watch the Throne. Yeah, if you listen to it, you'll see what I'm talking about. The production is crazy, some great features out there from Rick Ross, Benny the Butcher. They even had what's her name? Marsha Ambrose on there. Yo, it's pretty dope, bro. And then they had some of the ignorant music on there. And then they had some of the joints to be like, oh, they spitting. I like it. I like it. What else you got, Earl? I feel like you're looking. You know what I'm saying? No.
I mean, honestly, I was trying, but like I said, it wasn't too many albums that came out. Like now is honestly,
stuff that you listen to, stuff that because everybody has that thing. Because Vic Mensa dropped the album this year. I fucks with Vic Mensa.
I mean, I just kind of look at like what songs came out, like because that's what people doing nowadays. I mean, there's been a bunch of songs that came,
a bunch of singles. Yeah,
so I would say that my hope for 2024 would be that we go back to these albums. And I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I keep my hopes down when it comes to rap because it's only a certain amount of, it's only a handful of artists, rap artists that I'm going to get a quality album. if your name, excuse me, if your name ain't Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, what's the sister name? Rhapsody.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like the younger, which they ain't really that young no more.
Right. They ain't even the new, yeah.
Or like a Nas or freaking Jay-Z. And it's sad because I was hoping that, Andre, after waiting my whole half of my life, I was hoping he was going to do something. So now, like, I just go to the R&B side, and I'm just like, all right, I look and see who people I would love to hear from that I haven't heard. Like, I think Jasmine is going to come out. Jasmine, I'm waiting.
But you know what though? Even though this came out last year, I gotta represent it for this year because, once again, she changed the game with her tour, and that was Beyonce.
Yeah.
The album came out last year, but tour wise, she changed the game. Even to the point of putting it in a movie theater, and some people were like, "Oh, I don't know if I go see it in a movie," and then the people that went and saw it in the movie theater realized it wasn't the tour; it was everything that went into making the tour, and they said it was awesome, like a documentary of making the making of the tour. So, got to give it up to Beyonce again. So.
I'm going to
maybe Jay-Z, come out with an album, I'll be happy, or Bilal. Like, I'm happy in 2024. Bilal will grace me with the album. Jill, Jazz, somebody, one of those.
Just come over to the chem side. Just come on over.
Nah, I'm good.
Something that I was looking forward to, and this might just be a case of not looking for music, and I don't even know how I missed this because I thought it came out this month, and we're a month afterwards. Remember, I said to you guys, I might have been with Dave when I said this. When we were riding to the stadium. Remember, I told you that Busta Rhymes has a new album dropping?
Yeah, I heard it.
Did you? Oh, okay. So your response lets me know everything I need to know. Blockbuster, which was produced by Timbaland, Swiss Beats, and Pharrell, that dropped on November 20. I
can tell you the amount of times I listened to it. 3.
It dropped on November 24th. I don't know why I thought it was dropping in December. I think that was the initial date. I have not heard one track because I was like, where am I missing it? And I have not heard anything about it.
So, okay. His album before this one, hands down, is better.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
That was ELE 2, right? Extinction Level Event 2.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
So that one was better, at least to me. This one seemed like a push. I knew where he was going. It seemed like a push for a pulling together of the gap between new school and old school.
Got you. Okay. Fair enough.
If you get what I mean. Yeah. Go watch and look through the playlist and see the people that are featured on the album.
I saw it.
And if you got it in front of you,
I got everybody from Chris Brown on there. I got Burna Boy, The Baby, Coi Leray, Young Thug, Quavo, Kodak Black. Some of these names I don't even know. Trillion, Ray, C.I.E.
So this was one of those albums where it was like, look, these are some people that are new that, let me kind of bridge that gap type of thing. It seemed like it was a push, if you get what I mean. One song here, cool. Whole album of it, I didn't need it. And I love Busta. Like, love Busta. I think he's one of the most underappreciated rap artists of all time. I love Busta. But did I need this album? Not at all. That's probably why you didn't hear me talk about it. And
I
probably didn't hear it pushed out there. Go ahead. Go ahead, Earl.
Gotcha.
All right. So the reason why, and I was just listening to the features on there, the reason why shit like that doesn't work is because when you're over 40 or however old you are making rap, you have to cater to your audience. He's trying to cater to a younger audience, and keep it a stack with you. It's like, they don't know him, so they don't know him enough to be like, you know what, I'm out to check for this album. The only way that they would really listen to him is if like some of his songs were playing on the radio with these features on it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like ain't no young cat. Ain't none of my
know what
kids.
it compares to, Earl?
What?
It's when they come out and they do that Lifetime Achievement Award at the award shows.
Yeah,
When none of your
right,
people are out in
right.
the audience, it's all the new crowd.
Yeah.
You're like,
and I can tell you, like, none of my kids listening to this shit, they don't know who Busta Rhymes is. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is like, if you're gonna come out and you're that person of a certain, you still have a huge following. You still have a huge audience. They just got older, and they want to hear Busta Rhymes as songs. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear this new shit because then I'm like, all right. So it's like now you're trying to bridge the gap for a community that don't know you, and honestly, you're not going to be able to bridge no gap with.
I guess.
Pander to your people. Jay-Z does it perfectly. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z's not out
half the
here.
album also is reused beats.
See?
Just to let you know.
Like Jay-Z, his last album was 444.
Right.
Yo, that shit was crazy, bro. And he made that for, I mean, he wasn't out here trying to pander and he made that for his fans. You know what I'm saying?
So as Earl would say, if you don't mind me saying, he was a little bit out of pocket in this. He was
he was a lot out of pocket. He was off beat, everything. Like
I get it.
That's where they fuck up at, because like at the end of the day, when you're going on tour, and I hate to say this shit, but when you're going on tour, nobody want to hear no new shit. I'm gonna hear your old shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
unless you've created, and you got to give love to where it is due, which you've created this whole, I guess, second, third act of Nas. He's created six, at least three classics in this case.
But again, that's not for new facts. Those are for Nas fans.
Right.
Like,
right. I'm agreeing with you.
Ain't young kids listening to Nas. Like that's for us. You understand what I'm saying? Like the only person I feel like, only people that could kind of get that off, I feel like Drake. He's still young, but he's getting older. Drake is the only one right now that I feel like that could kind of get that off, because people still know Drake, and Drake is getting to the point where it's like, he's old, but he's relevant.
But he makes a lot of club type songs.
That's what I'm saying. He's making
know.
a lot of relevant stuff. So he keeps his name out there. So he can get with somebody that's younger, like a Sexy Red or something like that, and he should have it'll thump for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then he can do that singing shit, and it'd be cool. But
I would tell you to listen to it yourselves.
I will listen to it now.
Nah,
I was waiting to see. I was listening for the
no. But this is what I'm saying to you. It's not a horrible album. I don't want to paint that picture.
No, I got you.
It's not a horrible album. But just knowing Busta and growing up on Busta and listening to all his different things,
right?
There were certain tracks that you would just like, this was a throwaway track. Yeah. This is a joint that you do in the studio and just be like, all right, we did
it's 19. It's 19 tracks and it's only like an hour and 2 minutes.
So everything's thrown on there, bro. Everything's thrown on there.
But see, that's why I couldn't really get with I know that was your shit, but this is why I really couldn't get with that Puffy shit. Because it was like the thing that I asked as a fan, like, again, I'm not pandering to the younger crowd. I would have loved for him to have put more of the older, acts on some.
He had a mixture.
Nah, it wasn't crazy like that. He had way more. It was way more younger cats. Like
KC, Mary J.
Like 112 wasn't on there. Like it's.
Oh, you wanted his people to be on it now. They ain't gonna do no music with Diddy, right?
Well, I mean that's because he an asshole. Like clearly,
all that being said, man, all these albums that came out, they still were not as good as New Blue Sun. Oh my God. This is your boy Sean along with Earl today, man. HOTSEED Podcast, episode 134, best in the world. Oh man, that's classic Sean.
Is New Blue Sun that Andre 3000 show?
I really want to drive up to Baltimore right now, yeah. And I'm going to say right to your face, I love you. You're my brother. And then punch
man.
you.
Oh man, we just be two punching
That's it.
dudes, dude. Oh,
Yeah, and then we just sit back and drink together. But just know that punch came from the heart.
oh man. Speak it from the heart, man. This Friday, man, at 12/29. Oh, well, December 29th.
Album of the year.
Nah, it's not even an album. It's just an EP, and it's like 4 tracks. And
Hey, it's probably like an album today. Album of the year.
right. I'm dropping the Third Floor EP. It'll be available on Bandcamp, so you can pay what you want, and it's all on all the streaming platforms this Friday. So midnight, it'll be there. Yeah, it's for you to enjoy, for you to tap in however you want. You know, for your boy Sean Xavier.
Dang.
Oh yeah, you ain't lying. What's going? What is going?
All over your album.
Man. I thought I was on mute. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is horrible. Horrible. This coughing on the line. He's just putting on a show right now. Speaking of show, let's talk about
because of that bullshit you said about new moon shit.
Oh my god. Let's talk about some shows, man. Best shows of 2023. So best shows. This could be anything that you saw. Ooh. Netflix, YouTube, Tubi, Hulu. Hold on. I ain't finished yet. Right. Amazon Prime. Bruh, it's so many bruh. Remember when they said cut the cord? They said cut the cord. He right. Cut the cord and you'll save money. Bro, by the time you pay for internet alone and you add all of these like streaming services, you paying for the same amount that you paying for cable, son. For real. And you still not getting basic stuff. Especially when
then it's always that one show that's popping up on that streaming one that you don't carry.
What? Or if you're a football fan, NFL decide, hey, yeah, we will play this game exclusively on Paramount Plus.
On Peacock.
Yeah, some shit like that. Oh my God. So best shows of 2023, man. What you got?
Let me kick this off here because I actually just watched it today. I know you already saw it, Sean.
Yep.
Girl, I don't know if you've seen it. Kevin Hart and Chris Rock, the headliners.
So good.
I was so impressed by this breakdown. If those of you that know about it but haven't seen it yet, no, it's not a stand-up comedy special.
Nope.
This is basically like
it's a documentary
of that whole thing. And what I got from it is what women are getting from The Color Purple.
Right.
And what I mean by that is, you know, they're sharing of the sisterhood. This is the sharing of the love through brotherhood. Yeah. And we don't do enough of it, you know, not to get this deep on the podcast, but we don't do enough of it. We talk about the black businesses and holding them up. Well, what about just holding each other up as men? Like sometimes we need to vent. We need to sit back and talk with each other. And that's why I love y'all up on here because, you know, that's how the podcast started. We just spoke to each other, whether it was good, bad, ugly, everything was out there. No judgment zone. Yep. And then we said, let's just put it out there in the podcast world. But with the Kevin Hart and the Chris Rock thing, you know, you could see honestly the love that they have and the respect that they have between each other. And it's uncensored. And I love it because if more of us do that, we can build a whole lot faster and a whole lot bigger. And that's what they're doing. You know what I mean? That's honestly what they're doing is watch it, analyze it. It's not just a comedy thing. It's to the fact of how you can carry yourselves through life. So great documentary.
I love that documentary, man. If nothing else you get from that, if you watch it and you take in everything on there, it's the reaching back, man. You know, mind you, Chris Rock is older than Kevin Hart, and he's a lot older in the comedy, you know, age. Yep. And come to find out that Kevin Hart looked up to Chris Rock.
Yep.
And you look at that, and those circles, man, people don't realize how important that having functional, progressive, grounded, like really people who are motivated groups and circles.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand that. And then you wonder why people wonder why.
And that respect.
Respect. Yep. And you wonder why you don't do well in business when you get ahead. It's something about, and it goes in to a certain extent, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, it lends to those who are part of fraternities and sororities. You're part of a fraternity or sorority if you're a woman of people. In this case, it's comics, but it's like a bike club or something like that, military, whatever. when you see somebody who's part of that fraternity, just keep it what it is.
Yeah.
You look back to them and you're part of a brotherhood or a sisterhood. And there's a lot of relationships that can be leveraged to the betterment for yourself. And not on some selfish type thing, but somebody's there to help you along the way. And that's what that showed you in that with Chris Rock, his humble beginnings from it. And then Kevin Hart being so enamored with him and watching his sets and him talking to him and walking up to him and stuff like that, man, and watching him. And then him giving his flowers as one of the GOATs of comedy. We get so, we get so up in a tight, man, on a singularity GOAT. But you can be a GOAT in your own right. I said that last year. I said that last year. That's what they spoke about.
They said, and the comparison they used, I think, was perfect during the show. They said this is Kobe paying his respects to MJ.
Yeah.
It was like Kevin Hart was nagging Chris so long and like just walking up, let me know more about this. Let me know. Because for people that just came about realizing Chris Rock from a smack, let's just calm it down. Chris Rock's done a lot way before.
He's done a hell of a lot.
Through the shows, through the stand-ups.
Yes.
Chris Rock's done a lot.
Lost comedy shows.
Yep.
Syndicated. Yep. That was the funniest scene.
Being put on movies. Basically ran from home type.
Yes.
Remember that story being told in there? He's like, look, Eddie Murphy want me to come out there. I gotta go. And then Dan put him on the plane. So I don't want to give too much away, but check it out.
It is, man.
It's just nice to see like the unfiltered storytelling that they're giving, and then the Dave Chappelle part at the end and all that type of stuff. The respect that they all have for each other. I think there's gonna be like another Kings of Comedy that comes out.
Yeah,
I don't know who that
fourth person.
You know what? Let's throw that out as a question. Let's say they did a Kings of Comedy and it was a revamped one with, let's say, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart. Who's gonna be that fourth person?
I don't think you could do a fourth person.
I know of a fourth person. I don't know if he'll get along with the other three.
Those three themselves, I think they cover all the gambits of it. I don't think there could be a fourth person.
Yep.
Cat would that way. If anybody, he would.
That would be my.
Yeah, and I feel like he would close. He would probably be the closer of that show. I think he would be because he's the one.
He would be the. Then Bernie close out the other one.
Yeah, he would be the one that he's gonna let everything hang loose. He don't give a shit what you think. And even though Dave don't, but I think Dave will be round in the. Dave will probably be like the third in that aspect. If I had to put him there, probably Kevin would be. I don't know. Either Kevin or Chris would be the host up because they take that Steve Harvey route. But yeah, Cat would definitely close that shit out. He would definitely close it out because he would be the one even that he'll take subtle shots at the other three because he'd be that guy. This is one thing I did take from it, and this is they were talking because he if you guys already saw it, he gave Chris Rock a GOAT doing it. So if you've seen it on there, and what I love about that is, and I said again that the word GOAT it's so controversial when you talk about certain things. We talk about doing LeBron, Jordan, stuff like that. But there could be multiple GOATs, and I say this because for Christmas, my soon-to-be wife, she gave it threw me off. She gave me some apparel, and it was like graphic tees, a sweatshirt, stuff that I love, and it had GOAT on it. I thought it was a fucking brand. I didn't know what the fuck it was. And I asked her, I said, who's the brand? She was like, she looked at me like I was stupid. I'm like, I'm serious. It was the brand. She was like, aren't you a fucking GOAT? And it threw me off for a second because I didn't know how to respond. But she was referring to something that was said in like an article and something we were talking about at the time, and it's something on the music side, and it made me think. And I think I said it in one of my last pieces I did a couple albums ago. Like I said in a rhyme, I'm a GOAT in my own right, and what I mean that is when it comes to my family, they look at me as that I'm great at what I do. Each one of us is a motherfucking GOAT in our own right. because we have created a lane for ourselves that we have our family and our loved ones look up to, whether it's Dave and his completely business ventures, whether it's Earl. Shit, I first met Earl when I first got to know Earl. Earl's on the goddamn Steve Harvey show, shit like that. You know, it's a big thing for Black people to be on goddamn TV and shit. And but Earl being that mentor and being that thought-provoking guy, me from the music, people look at you, they revere you, they consider you as a great person. And watching that reminds you that, you know, when you're feeling down on things, motherfucker, you a fucking GOAT. One, if you're a Black man and you living past in these days the age of 20, you already great. So if nothing else you take from this podcast tonight, you're a fucking GOAT.
Let me tell you what's crazy. I brought a sweatshirt that says GOAT on it for myself for Christmas. That shit came from Shein.
We might have the same goddamn sweatshirt. I don't even know. Shit.
My shit is tan with red letters dripping.
Mine's black. But it got matching Pumas. I got matching Pumas with it too. That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Where they at?
But it's
all right. So
I was about to buy some Pumas. It was $37.
Hey, you know
I was gonna text you.
Earl.
Yeah, I was gonna text you, but then I said, nah, you had another.
Let's throw another show out there.
I got one because y'all.
Go ahead. My bad. I mean, we don't. You know, I know you're Googling over there. Go ahead.
Yeah, you don't play.
I was actually right. I was actually writing them down.
You would tell us about a show that everybody said is good.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I'm not gonna say they're new shows, but I would say like seasons, like the season came up. So
yeah.
Lupin. I don't know if y'all watch Lupin.
I know about Lupin.
Lupin is dope.
Okay.
That I think it's the 3rd season that came out on Netflix. That shit is dope. Damn, hold on. I had another one. Rap shit. So I don't know if
that is dope. Yeah, yes.
I don't know if y'all
about
rap
rap shit.
I watched that.
I don't know if y'all familiar with that, but
I watched that, bro. Yeah,
that shit
it's dope. Yeah,
that shit is tough.
It's produced. It's produced by Issa Rae, and then one of the actresses, she's her own writer and producer as well. I forget her name off the top of my head, but yeah.
Rap shit. Yo, was the Wu-Tang series? Was that last season?
I feel like I feel like that was end of 2022. Somewhere around there.
It probably was 23 though.
It could have been. I don't know. It might have been.
It's probably 23.
Yeah.
I got one. Paramount Plus. Lawman Bass Reeves. True story, by the way.
Yeah.
About this black sheriff back then that a lot of people feared. And if you got some time, I knocked it out in a weekend. It's awesome. Yeah. It's an awesome story.
Check it out.
Storytelling. Lawman Bass Reeves is on Paramount Plus.
I know. I've been saying
look, we ain't gonna just go not say this. One of the best shows of 2023 was goddamn Loki season 2. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yes.
Right now. All the feels, emotions, and such like that. Man, listen, that was a great. Marvel needed something because Marvel have been catching these L's, as a late with these whack ass movies, and Loki brought them all with Tom Hiddleston, whatever his name is.
Yep.
Yeah, he's great.
What about The Last of Us on Max?
Last of Us was so good, bro. It was so good, man. Like, there's a lot of video games that have turned into movies and films that have been shit. This was great. It was so good, man. That had you drawn every week, and then I like the fact that they weren't releasing it all at the same time. I hate this microwave society. Make me look forward to something. I mean, I will binge certain things, but I like being able to go to that the next week. By the way,
the person in that movie is probably, I can't see it yet, but probably gonna play for Fantastic Four.
Yep, he is.
So
we'll see how it goes. He has a very wide range of acting capabilities. Something that you may like, Earl, because on the anime side, if you haven't watched it, the live action One Piece, like that. Yeah, One Piece is so good, bro. Like they did that well. It was not a the Last Airbender by M. Night Shyamalan. It was not that. This was I'm going to hell, I know. Or whatever they do. It was
Mama
One
say,
Piece
Mama
was
say,
dope.
Mama Kusa.
So yeah, One Piece, man. One Piece. Some of my best shows in 2023, man. It was good, man. It was hopefully 2024 gives us something even better. I don't even know what we got to look for at this point, but you know, I guess, you know, shows. The HOTSEED Podcast with your boy Sean, Earl, Dave. The best in the world, the best of 2023. Some of our categories we picked out. This ain't even the best category. This is just some of the biggest headlines of 2023 because it's all over the place. I think I don't know if it's the biggest headline of 2023, and I'll just start, is the goddamn Ukraine and that whole situation is happening. And it continues to happen. I don't know what to take from it. It's another conflict that it's like that we're in a world of the never-ending conflicts. To loosely quote what Dave Chappelle said, you know, y'all niggas was better when we was inside with COVID, because once we got released, everything went back to shit. Like it really was, man. Like, take me back to that space when everything was calm, the skies looked blue, and you really didn't have to deal with. I mean, the worst thing we had to deal with during that time was, of course, the George Floyd shit that went down. But all this other stuff, man, this normalcy shit ain't for me. Like this, because this ain't normal. This shit's maybe it is, and you know, yeah, that's one of the biggest headlines for me, man, for 2023.
One that I didn't realize happened in 2023. I actually had to look it up, but it was January 2nd. Damar Hamlin was revived on the field.
Yeah.
I did not realize that this was
the seasons run together. Yeah. And if y'all don't know Damar Hamlin, he's a defensive player that plays for the Buffalo Bills. Had a cardiac arrest on the field. And for most we thought we saw somebody die on the field.
Yeah.
And they just turned it into a marketing piece as soon as he came back for the rest of the season.
Now he's back on the field.
Right.
I got one.
Yeah.
It is a new Black National Day. I put it before Juneteenth because we were somewhat free. But I want to say this happened August. This was the infamous issue or situation that happened in Alabama, I want to say. With the chair. But now
the Boston chair party.
Yeah, something like that. Alabama chair. So I'm gonna be honest. There was a lot of jokes on that one.
So many.
There's a lot of jokes on that one.
So many.
But in all fairness and all in my truth, that was actually a proud moment in my opinion. Because that was actually a proud moment in my eyes. And the only reason why I say that is because black people ain't known for
swimming.
Well, no, not even that.
No, he was gonna say
not
that.
Even that.
I was holding it.
Not even that. But black people ain't known for sticking together. And the fact that you had people who didn't know each other, that didn't know one another, that was out there sticking together, like that gave me hope. That gave me hope to say, you know what, yo, if we do more of this, imagine what we can accomplish. I mean, the fact that the brother had to jump about a half a mile, feels like, out in the water and swam over there and still had energy to get busy. You know what I'm saying? So you had a bunch of cats.
He went to the YMCA. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You had a bunch of cats who they ain't know nothing. They just saw it like, yo, it was go time. Like females is out there getting bit. Then you had the 50, the 55 and older crew. They was getting busy down there. Like it was an all out good moment. So I would say, that was probably one of my
the chair battle.
Yeah.
Oh man, wow.
And the
It,
memes was hilarious.
Oh my god.
that,
You got one, Sean, or you want me to go?
yeah, you go ahead. You good. I'm pulling it
So
up
in
now.
2023, you got to see Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, be voted in. And in the same year, get voted out. So, and now he's retiring. Welcome to our politics. Can't get right. So
Ah,
that
this
was
one,
the line.
this one I got, and we won't know the how big of an effect it had on it until you start seeing baby start being born with like 6 arms and shit like that. Do y'all remember the Norfolk Southern train that derailed? They had all the hazardous materials up in Ohio.
Yeah.
That shit happened back in February. We ain't heard
Mm.
nothing else about that, bro. And right after that, another train derailed. But this particular one, so it was carrying all the hazardous materials up in Ohio at the time, and they had multiple train cars. They burned for more than 2 days following emergency crews conducting a controlled burn of additional cars. Yeah, whatever happened to that? What did they do? I mean, we still got shit going on up in Flint with that water. This joint derailed, and up in Ohio, they catching hell up in that area. And I'm curious to see, and give them about 5-10 years, we start seeing them commercials again where you're talking about, were you affected by the Norfolk Southern, train derailment? Do you got like an extra pinky toe or some shit like that? You may be, you may be inclined to get a settlement, so forth and so on. Like it's weird, like stuff like this is happening and we just go about our day. And that was like a big issue because I believe some people lost their lives, perhaps in that as well. Yeah.
Well, we also had the Hollywood writers' strike and
Yes,
actors
we did.
strike
Yes, we
in
did.
automotive industry, and it's crazy to me that we just ended those strikes. Everybody's back on the sets filming and stuff like that, and then you have Taraji P. Henson. What did she say? She said
she ain't getting
for the
paid
Color
shit.
Purple when she's talking
That's what
about
she
getting paid, and I was
Yep.
like, damn. Well, what the hell did we just fight about? And what did we just sign off on? You know what I mean?
Bro.
Like, you always know there's going to be some disparity in things out there, but I'm like, when you hear some of the numbers that she's putting out there, and then other people are coming out, I don't know if you Googled it and saw
1% of what what's name was getting. Yeah. She can
but also you saw Gabrielle Union came out and made a video about it because she was talking about she's an actor and producer and ain't getting shit. It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, that happened this year.
This is the big one for me. And we were kind of excited about it in certain aspects. And it was quietly undone. But we thought this was going to be a major shift in our media. And that was at the time, it was a potential buying of BET by one Tyler Perry. And out of nowhere, that whole thing fell through. They pulled that shit. And I remember I read the story, and I'm loosely quoting with the owner. They were saying something like the purchase didn't reach the level, something like the value that they thought they would get from it, or something like that. And I'm looking at a story on Essence with Tyler Perry. He described the process as disrespectful. So he had actually finally spoken out about his experience trying to purchase the BET channel from Paramount Global, and the billionaire suggests that it wasn't pleasant. So at a time when he was going to put up his own money, he won't bring in investors, bro. He was putting up his own bread. Mind you, he's the same person who bought Fort McPherson down in Georgia. And it was a Fort Army base, and turned that to his own complete lot that has been used by everybody from Marvel / Disney, everybody else to film their movies on. And they kind of just pulled out of the deal when he was ready to buy it. And in a space where you had D1 made all the social media headlines and viral stuff talking about the message that's being put out there in music, I'm almost taken aback that well, I'm saying I took from this that they pulled the deal because it was not because it was undervalued. It's because who was trying to buy it to change the message.
Let's leave it there for a second because recently, and don't quote me on this, I believe Tyler Perry was trying to buy it for about $2 billion, or maybe a little bit above that, and they said that they were asking for at least $3 billion. Well, we're going to see if that's true or not, because in the last couple of days, Byron Allen just offered $3.5 billion to buy BET. So now if they balk on that, you don't got nowhere to go.
Except where is Byron Allen getting this bread from? Just excuse my ignorance.
Hey. So I want you to I want anybody to do their homework on Byron Allen. His name is like they don't do your just due on Byron Allen. Byron Allen.
Byron, yep.
Yeah, and his media company and the way that started and the way he built. You're talking about building a circle and leveraging your business and your acumen. That's how he's able to put up these things for it. It's wild, man. And again, it's a space where we got the capital to buy these things back, unfortunately. And it's like, nah.
But my thing is, you don't even gotta. It's like, why buy something back? Just start something. Start something on your own.
Well, Byron Allen is a businessman. I mean, absolutely. Even outside of this, Byron Allen
he bought the Weather Channel, brother. He bought the Weather Channel.
But he offered $10 billion to buy ABC and other Disney networks. And Bob Iger, all he said is that we're not there yet, but just hang on. Because Bob Iger's making his moves right now. He's not going to stay in that position long. He just came back to recover money for Disney.
Yeah.
And then don't be surprised if Byron Allen owns ABC in the next couple of years.
What I saw with Tyler Perry getting BET was going to be up. Because if you look at it, shit, half of his shows is on BET anyway.
Right.
You know
Same way 50 on Stars.
And then I was going to be like, I could see, because I know they had a conversation. And I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if he would try to, talk to 50. But what he actually told 50 was, yo, you need to get your own.
Stars.
Yeah.
No, he didn't say that. He said you need to build your own studio. And that's what
that's what he did. Started. Yep.
No, he ain't started. He did it. He finished it.
Wait, that's what I'm saying. Is it finished now?
Yeah, it's in like Mississippi or something. It's somewhere down south.
Yeah, I know. I saw the like the video where he was down there, and it was like it was all the framing of it. It was humongous, man.
Nah, it's done.
So. And the content space now, just like everything else, for a while, you got real estate, which will always be a thing, but now some of the most valuable real estate out there is the media space. So whoever controls those spaces or where to produce them,
well, you got to come to them. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And there's certain factions of the world don't like the fact that now I got to come to this person who don't look like me, and I think lesser than, to ask them, hey, can I utilize your facilities to push this thing about? Because at the end of the day, or they come in and be like, well, we'll give you this, we'll pay this to produce on your lot.
I wish black folks will stop running after bread. Like sometimes it's, to have something that is owned, like that you own by you. And I understand sometimes people need the bread, but you got like, I was kind of tight with Bob Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like, bro, like you had the first black television
team. BT too. Yeah.
Team, like, and you saw, like, bro, like to be like you sold it. We sold it to Viacom.
Viacom, yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Like, it's some things that you got to be cognizant of who you selling that to, because this is culture. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, BET was really popping because you had a bunch of shows. Like you had like 106 in Park, who was beating like their rival.
You had Girlfriends and stuff like that.
You had a bunch of shows, and I just wish that. And this is not just, I'm not just coming at them. I just wish that we as a people would just stop, just like jumping towards the dollar, and just realize, like, yo, pass that shit down to somebody that look like you, so we can keep shit within our community, because it's already mad people making bread off of our community. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, shit, and I don't want to go deep into this, but you look at it's if you really look into your history of these HBCUs, man, how many of them HBCUs are actually owned by a black person? It's like Spelman was named after Rockefeller's wife. That's her maiden name. Like, so I mean, don't get me started, but I say all that to say, man, black folks, man, keep your shit. Keep your shit.
Yep. It's the Hot Seat Podcast with your boy Sean, Earl, Dave, man. That's best in the world. Best of 2023, man. We're closing out the pod this year. We've had a great season. We've had some great highlights. The best series of the year, I will vote, and tell me if I'm wrong, that our All Black Everything Volume 3 series was the best series. Was the best series this year. So shout out to everybody. I won't name names. I'll forget somebody, but a shout out to the whole series. Go in to the link in the bio or in the show notes, or Google the Hot Seat Podcast. There's this thing called Google Me. You can find it there. Shout out to Abyss from out of VA. And watch not only Volume 3, which is great, but all the volumes, all the shows, but Volume 3 specifically. Man, we had a time, and we bookended it with a great on location show, which was dope. And it shows, to Earl's point, those that we just keeping stuff in house, and we look forward to doing a Volume 4 and bring you guys bigger and better things going into the new year. We will be I guess relaunching, or really, because I guess we were in beta mode, but we will be really showing you guys what the Hot Seat Podcast Plus is really going to be about. And what I mean by this, you subscribing to the Hot Seat Podcast, man, monthly, and you getting exclusive perks, behind the scenes shows, everything in content, all that, man. I know the world is content now, but we strive to make our content a little bit different in this case, and that's something that we promise we will deliver in the year of 2024. Speak of delivering, check the show notes. And check out our newest, not our newest, but our Instacart offer. Dave, you got something from me?
Yep.
All right.
It's the holiday season. Oh, you doing your thing.
Yeah, go ahead. Right. Go ahead. You got it. Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
It's the holiday season, and there's a lot on your plate, literally. From family gatherings to office holiday parties, there's just not enough time in a day to get to the store. That's where Instacart comes in. North America's largest online grocery marketplace. From your favorite food needs, alcohol, office supplies, and more, Instacart will connect you with a personal shopper in your area to shop and deliver your order and stay safe with the contactless delivery with their leave it at my door option. To receive free delivery on your first order over $35, just follow the link in the show notes to let them know that the Hot Seat Podcast sent you. Instacart.
That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead and get that free delivery in. You need a little juice, the water, whatever you need, man. So, do you guys any New Year's resolutions at all, guys?
Not so much resolutions, but I'll just tell everybody. I know one thing we do in our household, and I'll just put the phrase out there: get your house in order. You went through a whole year, treat it like a business. Sit back where you had some gains and you had some negative balances and things like that, and just keep it in order. We go through our regular bills throughout the year, and we figure out things that we can come down on. And then also, I've said this before, we do all these vision board parties and stuff like that, and those are cool. But your real accountability partner, especially if you're in the house with a family, is your family. If they know your goals and know the things that you want to do and get accomplished, and you know theirs, guess who's the best accountability partner? Them. Because you look them in the face each and every day. But if they don't know what you're trying to do, there's your downfall right there. So I'm telling you, look at that household, get your house in order, start pushing out your goals and stuff like that, but write them down because most people are visual.
I'm leaning from J. Cole when he said, if they don't know your dreams, then they can't shoot them down. So I'm leaning on the fact that I'm writing I write my own stuff. I know what I want to do. I'm gonna keep it to myself, like, cause those are things that
You saying your missus don't even know?
Nah, nobody knows.
Okay,
but
well,
those,
it shows.
cause that's those are things. These are things that I want to do for myself. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
it's one of them things where, like, it's one of them things where I'm like, you know what, I want to do it. Like, it's a bunch of stuff that I want to do. Cause the other thing is too, if it doesn't come to fruition, I ain't going back and be like, well, I said I was nah. Let me do what I want to do.
But that is the point of accountability, though, what you just described.
Yeah, but
Right.
my thing is no, but your biggest accountability should be yourself. That's
Right.
what I
Sounds
believe.
good.
That's what I believe.
Sounds good.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Okay.
if you can't motivate you, how you expect somebody else to? Because my thing is, like, if they not, if those other factors wasn't here, then what you have to lean on? You know
The
what I'm
only
saying?
thing I will tell you about a true accountability partner, whether it is your household or not, and you run your life, so you do what you do. But the biggest successful people in the world all have mentors. The reason why is because they need accountability. There's going to be days that you don't check yourself. There's going to be days that you sit back and you let yourself fall, or you're going to take the easy way out and stuff like that. People can see from the outside, and like I said, maybe I said it wrong in the fact of just your household, but to just be able to bounce that off of somebody, I'm telling you, there's a difference there.
No,
Because they're going to see something that you don't see.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to see all those things.
I mean, I think that's kind of two different things in a sense, though, because you're talking about, you said mentor, right? Yeah, everybody has a mentor, but at the end of the day, it's something that got to drive you. And I'm not coming at nobody. I'm just saying, like, there's something that got to drive you or whoever to stay on that straight and narrow. Like, I look at the example of, if you go to the gym, right? Some people need a partner to go to the gym to keep them motivated for the days that, they don't want to go. But then you got some people that's like, you know what? I just got to get over this hump, and I got to force myself to the point where it's like, yo, you're your own accountability partner.
I got you.
So it depends on, I would say, like, it depends on that individual. And I would say for me, like, I'm at the point where, yeah, there's things that I want to do as a family that I will go over with a family. But then I have my own separate things that I want to do, for myself. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing selfish. It's just things that I need to do for myself to be better for the people around me, if that makes sense. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. One of my dreams and one of my goals that I ain't say nothing to nobody about until it actually came about was going to school. I ain't say shit to nobody until I actually was going through with it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm happy that I started that. You know what I'm saying? And I got 2 more years, but those are the little things that I'm talking about for me personally. I got another one that I started, writing my autobiography. You know what I'm saying? And I think everybody should do that personally. I could go into a whole segment of why I think you should do that, but I feel like everybody should do that. And then that should be passed down to your kids, and your kids pass them down, so forth and so forth, because that's a part of your history. And it also is therapeutic. So like I said, me personally, for me, there's things that I'm like, I'm my accountability partner. But then when I'm thinking about the totality of certain things that I want to do as a collective, like with my family, yeah, then there's things that I'll, let them know about. But there's certain things that I'm like, nah, I need to hone in for myself so that I can best suit them, pretty much. That makes sense.
My it's not a resolution. It's more so of a message. My brother, when I went out and saw my brothers, I said at the top of the show, I went down and saw my brothers for Christmas, and he said something that we say it a lot amongst ourselves, as far as making time. But I'll take it one step further. As he was giving the blessing before we ate, and he made a statement. He said, "We have to do better because we're getting together more for funerals than for weddings." And I ain't gonna lie to you guys, man. First of all, I love you guys to the moon and back. And without going too much details, it was a rough Christmas. And I will say that even in my space of I'll say loosely practicing Buddhist teachings and such, there's still a lot that I have to work on because I still carry a lot. I still carry a lot that eats at me. And then you hear people often say the term, karma is going to work against, whenever there's an issue, someone did you wrong or something like that. Not realizing that you're weaponizing the word karma. And what I've learned, and I've always known, but just this, it even hit even more this holiday. It's not up to you, man. You carrying that around is a way to, it sounds good to you, but it's not. And you're harboring regret and frustrations and anger. And then when you look past in the eye and you look at the dwindling days of somebody, that karma shit hurt, bro. That karma shit hurt. So what I'll say is, I'm not telling everybody to go out here and find every person who did you wrong and shake their hand and shit like that. What I'm saying is, let that shit go. Let it all go. Because all them goddamn tears and all that don't mean nothing when that person ain't here. It don't mean nothing. Because all you're doing is just restarting the cycle of grief. You can't fix what happened in the past, but if that person is here, you can damn sure do something about it now. And it doesn't matter what response you get from anybody else. If they say, well, you ain't been around all this time, I don't give a damn. I'm here right now. Whether it's kids, whether it's parents, whoever, man. If you have the ability to forge a relationship with somebody that important in some type of fashion, go ahead and do it. Because I promise you on everything I love that when it's over, ain't nothing you can do about it. And you just stuck talking to a person you don't know, spending unnecessary money for something that you could have solved yourself. Carrying around hate, anger, and disregard for somebody else and masking it as karma. It's a dickhead move. And I'll tell you right now in this podcast, I'm guilty of it, carrying it for decades, bro. And that shit hurt like a bitch. So for everybody, you gotta wait for 2024. Start that shit now. Start it now. If you go by the statistics, you ain't got that long, especially as a black man. You ain't got that long. So get up on your shit. Do everything you need to do now, balls to the wall, and leave out of this place on a high note. Be 10 toes down. Get up off all the fuck shit. Take care of what you need to take care of. That's all I got, bro.
It's the hot seat.
Yeah, it's dope.
The hot seed.